Alright guys, making a trail. This is the parallel trail to this back 20 acres. So about 10 of this is cleared, about 10 of it's not. I'm going to make a trail through the uncleared 10, obviously. And just for, again, riding horses. Like I said yesterday, the trail made through that lower head, just for riding horses, kids riding four-wheelers, that kind of thing. Just some old rotten shit. This is where they cleared this property and just piled it all up along the perimeter, which I still don't understand. I guess it was just a cost savings measure, which I can respect that, but it made a damn mess. Just where there's no good way to clean it up. Well, of course it would have been at one point, but now the shit's so old and rotten, you can't really pick it up. I mean, you just saw it, everything just comes completely apart. But, you know, again, whatever. We'll get there. Not like I'm in a big hurry. As always, I'm going to attempt to keep the better trees. This one right here is questionable, but it's in the way, so it's got to go. It's a weird tree. It's like growing sideways out of a palmetto, but I don't even know what it is. But anyway, now it's stuck in the bucket, which is always helpful. And the only bummer about doing this kind of thing is that, you know, all you do is you end up with more freaking burn piles. And I swear, it seems like I always keep more burn piles laying around than I can possibly get to. Of course, it doesn't help when it doesn't rain and you're scared to burn anything. Or, in this case, illegal to burn anything. Which I would not try even if it were not. Because I've seen that shit too many times get out of hand with us. So I'm not a fan of that at all. But I can tell you, having this excavator here to do this kind of stuff is just, I mean, I'm not going to say I couldn't have done it with a tractor and the grapple, but it'd have been a hell of a lot more of a job. For this thing, I wouldn't say it's not a job, but it's, you know, I guess it's basically what things built for. That and digging holes. But I mean, I've cleared several acres up here with an excavator. Not this one, but we have some John Deeres with a company I'm involved with, Underground Utilities, and so I had actually much bigger machines up here a couple times, and you know, just makes relatively easy work of stuff, which is what it's supposed to do. And you know, I guess I could say that it wouldn't be the worst thing to one day also have a skid steer up here, but you know, I don't know, where do you stop? And I don't really like, I don't know, I don't like operating skid steers as much. Your visibility sucks, and it's like, I'm a little claustrophobic, and I'm thinking, man, I've gotten in one of those things before and the bucket stuck on me, and I was kind of trapped. And yeah, there's an exit, emergency exit out the back, but you got to pop the back window out, and it's a freaking nightmare to put back in, everybody says. So never tried that, but I don't know, a little skid loader may be an addition one day anyway. I just have to get over that shit. But if you ever been in a skid steer, it's you know, the bucket gets up in front of your exit basically, and if the thing dies and the bucket's up and the hydraulics are locked or whatever, it kind of makes sense the hydraulics are lower. But I guess I don't know, maybe what happened to me is the hydraulics locked up for some reason. I really don't know what happened, but I know the bucket was there in front of me, and I was there, and I started pondering exactly what I was going to do about that. And look, my buddy was around, and it wasn't a problem. And I called him. I said, man, I'm about to chew through the wall of this skid loader, and if you don't get over here. And he came over, and whatever the problem was, he fixed it, and no big deal, real quick. But if I'd been in the middle of nowhere, and another guy that did some clearing for me one time, he said that happened to him. He said that exactly that he was out in the middle of nowhere just by himself clearing, and got trapped in there like that, and had to call somebody and wait for like an hour sitting in that thing. And he said, you know, yeah, I know I could have popped the window out, but he said, I've done that before, and he said it's such a misery to get them back in, I didn't want to do it. And obviously he wasn't as worried about it as I get. So it does happen. It's the key element, and I find no pleasure in that at all. Daisy will not leave. She just runs around this thing waiting on me to get out. I don't know why it bothers her so much, but I think she wishes she'd get in here with me like she does in everything else. And I wish the cab was big enough it had a jump seat. I wish the tractor was the same way. I wish I could put her in here. Her big ass sister Carmen tries to jump in the damn tractor with me anyway, and she's 20 pounds bigger than Daisy is. She's like 75 pounds, and she crawls her big behind up in the tractor like she's gonna chill in there and hang out. And I'm like, Carmen, now our two bodies physically won't fit in this thing and close the door, but she don't give a shit. And she really don't give a shit. She's the queen, and it's her world, and just everything else can work around it. Work around her needs. These damn palmetto bushes, if you ever mess with them, people tell you gotta basically dig to China to get damn things out. The root structure on these things is just absolutely enormous. And they're, I mean, you'll see it in a second. You may have seen the last one, but there you go. That's the root, or the, I don't know if to say this is the root or the plant itself, but look at that. It's just massive, and they just take over an area. It almost looks like the Alien or some shit. They damn sure make it their own. And I don't feel bad about digging this one up, because we've got these some bitches everywhere. Everywhere. We are ate up with them. And now, the new deal is that people come around and harvest the berries that they produce in late summer to make this tonic. I don't know if you call it tonic, but make a what's the old-fashioned term for it? Y'all can leave in the comments if you know. But I made some of that stuff, and it's supposed to be good for your prostate and all kinds of stuff. I don't know. So a neighbor of mine, Oli, that's from Estonia, they use it, and it's kind of a holistic thing. But it's gotten real big the last few years, and so I made some a few years ago after Oli told me about it and showed me how, and holy cow, that is the nastiest. And I'm not super picky. I'll eat most things. I'm not like crazy like taste bud nut, but no, man, I took some of that stuff, and you can mix it with you put the berries in jar and mason jars, and put them in with either what was it, Everclear or vodka? I can't remember exactly. Or you could put them with apple cider vinegar, and I did both, several bottles. And the apple cider vinegar was a little more tolerable, believe it or not. I mean, I know that's hard to believe, but this stuff was so gross that I basically got where just the smell of it, and it smells terrible. I would just about puke. I just couldn't consume it, couldn't take it. So ultimately, I poured the shit out, and that was the end of that. I guess if you can tolerate even more than I can tolerate, it's supposed to be really good for you. Is it? I don't know. Shit, but it's supposed to be. All right, finished the loop trail along the back 20. Pretty. It's interesting. I ran across either one old road bed or two of the same, or I ran across the same road bed twice, one or the other. And we're kind of up on a ridge. It's really pretty in here. So it's really interesting to think about. This was the road to get somewhere at one time. It was a dim trail. I mean, well, I say road. Road's not the correct description at all. It was what the old guys I used to hunt would call a dim trail. But it was a trail. It was definitely traversed by something. Maybe it was carriage and buggy, or maybe it was trucks, or I don't know, maybe it was space aliens. But either way, it was here, and I'm now using it again. And I'll tell you, when I was a kid, of course, we used totally different ways to get into this lake. The old trails, roads, whatever you want to call them, that are long grown over, when what we call the new roads were cut in, which is the roads we use now. But found an old bottle. I see an old bush can. I don't think that's particularly terribly old. There's another old bush can, and I don't know what the hell that is. But so, as always, you can always find hints of somebody being here, no matter how far you go. But I guess that's okay. But I tell you, actually, it's not okay, because that's one thing that really chaps my ass. I don't know about y'all, but man, you come up here in the woods and you got a really pretty place, particularly like when we're in Tennessee and stuff, and we're just in pristine, beautiful areas with views and mountain air. And by the way, I'm not on the trail right now. I was off the trail. So here's the trail. We're back. But, and then you're plunking along in this beautiful area, and here's a bunch of garbage that some asshole threw out, beer cans, or somebody used the restroom and didn't do anything about it. Sometimes it makes you wonder who you're sharing the planet with. Of course, you can certainly just turn on the TV and get an idea about that. But anyway, people should clean up their shit, particularly in the few areas that we have that are still natural. We don't need signs of some asshole coming by and being there, to say the least. So that's the lesson for today. Don't litter. Don't be a shithead. Just take a look at this. Isn't this pretty? I mean, really. This is still part of the old roadbed. I had to detour a little bit up here to get down into our property. But it was just so neat to think about, you know, what was happening here before? Where was somebody going? What did it lead to? What did it lead from? What interesting events happened along the road? Romantic, right? All right, there's a full moon behind the barn. How about that? That is just damn pretty. Damn pretty. And there's also about 8 deer running around out there. 1 buck and 7 does. And he's a big son of a bitch too. But I don't think I can't see him this minute. They may have picked up on the other camera, but pretty stuff. Beautiful time of year. And there's my helper ready to go to the hill. I've had enough. Had enough, had to better. We've been cutting trails of her chasing me all day.